The performance was very good, and it was very good from the very first moment. And I think it was actually before the game started in the decision by Jose Mourinho to say, okay, the only way that Burnley is going to give us problems is with energy and physicality. And so what are we going to do? Well, we're going to put in Marion Fellaini, who brings that physicality and brings that presence to the middle of midfield, and then allows Paul Pogba to have some freedom to go forward and attack. And it was the attitude of Manchester United. Once they had the ball, it wasn't just sideways passing. It's no, we're going to go test Burnley. We're going to see if they're able to defend us. And they were parked in Burnley's half with possession of the ball, pressure in Burnley, having mistakes from Burnley defensively, allowed too much time to guys like Alexis Sanchez, and in the end, the quality of Manchester United takes over, and they're far better than a team like Burnley. This sort of performance, what we saw in the first half, is what we all would want to see from Manchester United on a regular basis. We don't see it, but today it was excellent.
Shaka, are you one of those unhappy that they won? That Mourinho is referring to?
No, I am not. I'm happy that Manchester United won, and more importantly, the way that they won. Now, here's the caveat. This is a poor Burnley team who had European League action in midweek. All that being said, you heard Jose Mourinho almost complain last week about they had an attacking setup against Tottenham Hotspur, yet still lost. But now we see that same attacking mindset get a result. That's all anybody has been asking of Manchester United. Fully deserve the result. The performances, both individually and as a team, is all that anybody has been wanting, asking, and expecting of Manchester United. Right to pay credit to Romelu Lukaku. I thought he was simply outstanding throughout. Back to goal, running on to through balls from Alexis Sanchez. Everything was on point. Long may it continue. That's all anybody wants.
Gab, this is, as we often get up to the show, Gab, this is very much a banana skin and avoided, a banana skin then picked up and thrown in the journalists' faces because you wanted United to fail, basically.
Yeah, look, I'm going to kind of sort of uncover the lid on the secret of how the media works. If United win and are successful all the time, the media do very well because United are hugely popular. If United are terrible and go from crisis to crisis for a while, the media do very well. If United amble along, sort of distinctly unimpressive, and everything is quiet, then the media take a little bit of a hit. That's kind of the way it works. But look, I think what matters here is that, you know, United played really well, like they played, I thought, well in the first half against Spurs. They get the 3 points. Now it's an international break. And hopefully by the time we see them again, somebody will have knocked Jose Mourinho off the back pages, and everybody's going to be talking about something else.
Sané not in the squad, not on the bench, dropped by Pep Guardiola completely from the team. Guardiola questioning his attitude.
Yeah, and it's a story that Pep Guardiola very, very swiftly denied. It's a story that the club themselves came out and denied. But you know, Dan, this is something that struck a lot of people as odd because obviously he hasn't played much this season. Had a tremendous end of the season last year before his injury, and a lot of people assumed that, you know, with the summer off, you know, he'd come back and would really be one of the key building blocks this year. Sané's camp have definitely been quiet. They're certainly not denying Pep Guardiola's line that everything's fine. So it's a question of whose word do you take. My hunch is that these things sometimes get exaggerated because obviously you've got a guy who wants to play and doesn't get on the pitch, and sometimes people put two and two together.
If I had the chance to do it over again, I would do the same thing. I will apologise to the supporters and everybody, but I cannot tolerate this sort of thing.
So sorry, I'm not sorry.
Yep.
One of the things that we've appreciated about Kylian Mbappe and his play on the field is the maturity that he shows as a player. This one is one of those where he would want to take this back. Look, you just scored a goal. You're winning the game. Yeah. You get kicked. It's to be expected. You don't want it to happen. It's not ideal. But it's the sort of thing that you have to be able to walk away because he will continue to become a target. And if other teams actually figure out that he's a hothead, that he's going to react, then more's coming. Because people, they cannot stop you naturally. They cannot stop you because of your talents. They're going to find ways to try to stop you. This is one way to do it.
And that's the thing. And as much as I've never found myself in that circumstance, you sympathize with Mbappe. He is human. And that kind of treatment on the football field eventually does get to you. And eventually you will break. But I think with time and experiences, as Ali is alluding to, you have to be able to handle these situations. You've got to be able to walk away. That will come. For the time being, you take this punishment. He is still young. He will figure it out.
Welcome into Extra Time. Thank you, as always, for your tweets. The first one is referring to an Ali Moreno tweet.
What happened? What happened?
Did I see the tweet of Moreno in which I'm sleeping before the show? I did see that tweet, yes.
You were fast asleep as well.
See how fast asleep you are? That you're actually on top of the table, which seems to be an uncomfortable position, and yet no problem.
I was comfortable.
Yeah, you're gone.
I was comfortable. I don't know why I'm
propped
tired.
up.
I didn't go out last night or anything.
You don't have to convince us of anything here.
No,
You're okay.
But it was weird because I was watching the game and then I closed my eyes and I woke up and you were both there.
So it was a long one.
Yeah, we were there for a while as well.
It wasn't a power nap.
No, it was Barcelona. They'd already won, didn't they? With their 8-2s put me to sleep.
You were having your pre-game nap.
Yeah, exactly. Pre-show, preparing, ready to go. Does it mean anything that Messi gives away a penalty despite a hat-trick chance and Ramos takes it despite Benzema's?
No, I think it's different dynamics in different locker rooms, different relationships, but I don't think it's a big deal at all.
Benzema's looking good, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Looking good, old Real Madrid.
Why you get all excited?
Yeah.
Why you get so excited all of a sudden? Oh, Benzema.
Do you think that Gab looks like a teddy bear?
Well,
this is a leading question.
well,
I think we have to be careful here.
gummy bear.
Gab is very huggable.
Yes, he is huggable,
He's a huggable guy.
but he tends to sweat a lot. So I don't know how much you really want to hug.
Doesn't we sit in hot places? Gab, have you been referred to as a teddy bear before?
I'll take that as a compliment. Would rather be somebody that people want to hug and be about and be around and cuddle with than than somebody who alienates people and rejects them and is all spiky and sarcastic and mean-spirited.
Yeah.
Well,
Are you talking about Craig Burnley? Craig Burnley you're talking about?
Anyone on the panel, really? Should Pellegrini Xhaka be officially on the hot seat? West Ham, no points?
Good start.
And 0. Yes, he should. He won't be. They just brought him in. It's a disaster, West Ham.
But you were all about Pellegrini when this.
I was excited as excited could be.
Yeah.
I thought this is a season we're going to be, this is a season we won't be in a relegation battle, which is as excited as West Ham fans get. But it is awful.
Yeah.
We're not that bad going forward. But goodness me. At the back, I think we could score a bag full against West Ham.
What position do you think Dan would be playing?
Sleeper.
Doesn't really work. What music did you guys listen to, if you did, before the game to get you in the zone? Good question. Shank? Do you listen to music?
I'm trying to
Do you have your
remember.
Walkman out? Would be a Walkman back in those days.
It would have been.
Yeah.
Would have been a big old Walkman
Why'd it be a big old Walkman?
because they were big and old back then.
Wasn't that big? How big were your
Is that a
Walkman?
tape recorder? What is that?
No, you had to print the whole disc, remember? That's
not
print a CD.
Yes.
So it's like that.
Hey, first of all, that's a disc, man.
Well,
Walkman
okay.
is a different one.
But how big's your CD?
Like that.
What kind of CD are you carrying with you? What are you
Trying to get it other
Lasers,
side.
you had an LP with you?
Over there. See, this one.
They were annoying, because even if you move them a bit, they jump.
Yep. I'm trying to remember now.
Ali?
Somebody else was in charge of the music.
I bet you hated it.
I used to listen.
I didn't hate it, but
I used to
Okay,
listen
go
to
ahead, go ahead.
Jay-Z driving in my car, but then when we got into the dressing room, we had a big old boom box.
Was Jay-Z around then?
What kind of stupid question is that?
How old's Jay-Z?
And how old are you?
I'm mid-40s-ish.
No! Late.
I'm
Late 40s.
mid-40s-ish.
Oh, man.
GC and I are around the same age.
Shaq, Gav, when you're penning your Monday musings, what music do you have? Do you have some Jay-Z pumping out to inspire you?
No, not Jay-Z, but my music, my pre-sport music, very boringly, was always just plain simple metal and classic rock. Bit of Metallica, bit of Slayer, bit of AC/DC. Very vanilla.
Well, I didn't expect to see a teddy bear listening to Metallica.
I know. Headbanging teddy bear.
Headbanging teddy bear.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well,
Do you know the biggest headbanger on our panel? Maris. Loves it, doesn't
yeah.
it? Metallica.
Casey Keller as well. It's a headbanger.
Yes.
Yeah.
He'd let you know, too.
Yeah. That's it.
I have a question.
Oh.
And it's been rubbing me because that tweet's been up.
Uh-huh.
Why is that the Shaka Hislop approach? Why is yours sleeping the Shaka Hislop approach?
Shaq is because, let's just say that there's been a couple of times where you might have been caught doing this.
Right, here's
Prior to the
right.
show.
So that tweet's up in the studio, and it's been kind of just grating at me last couple of minutes.
Shaka, you've been caught sleeping more than anyone else on the show ever.
I'm
Hold on,
surprised
hold on.
you're awake right now.
I don't get caught sleeping. I have a nap every now and then.
Well, so that's the Shaka Hislop approach.
There's no catching about it.
Yeah.
There's no catching about it.
Very, very long blink.
I'm not laid out on a sofa,
No.
feet up on the table,
I know. You're just,
drooling all over myself.
well, you are just sitting in your
I-
cubicle
you know.
asleep.
I just have a long blink.
Very long blink.
That's all.
Yeah. It's like watching this segment. That
Very
was it.
long.
We are done. ESPN FC back on your
At least you
screen
stayed
tomorrow.
awake.
Hey, it's International Week, boys.
Hey!
Shaq is going to be asleep for sure.
I'll keep you awake.
I'll bring my pillow in.
I think one thing you want to take into any break, and we have an international break coming up, is some positive momentum from the start of the season. Some of the teams did, and some of the teams didn't. Look at Arsenal in particular, travelling down to Wales. Always going to be a tight and a physical game down there, particularly against a Neil Warnock side. And we look at the way Arsenal performed. Again, Unai Emery's trying to implement this, playing out from the back, and they almost get caught in the first 30 seconds because Petr Cech's not comfortable, but that's what they're going to do. Mustafi, a great goal from a header. Important to get two of your key components on the score sheet, Aubameyang and Lacazette, who got the winner. So that was a good 3 points again for Arsenal as Unai Emery tries to implement his style ahead of that big change when Arsene Wenger left after so many years. Tottenham were the big surprise for me, as were Watford. I mean, that's 100% for Watford going into this break. That is one of the stories of the start of the Premier League season. Great win for them. You look at their 1-11 and you think, I don't see this team winning that many games, but they've got a harmony, they've got a unity, and they've got a good structure. Coming off the back of a great win at Old Trafford, he does this a lot, Pochettino. Why the hell does he change his team again? He changes shape, he changes personnel, and I just don't get it. Continuity for every player is very, very important. And they really gave up a chance to go in with that 100% record to the break. Now, the headlines all week. Mourinho, Man United, Woodward. Could not afford to slip up at Turf Moor against a Burnley team who are clearly going to struggle more than last year. But this was very, very professional from Man United. You looked at the team sheet, you saw Lindelof, you were like, oh, you saw Fellaini, you were like, but it worked. Centre-halves played well, weren't really tested too much. Fellaini, big and strong, horses for courses, played well. Tried to combat the physicality of Burnley. Lukaku should have had 3, did get 2. Pogba misses a penalty. The other story, Marcus Rashford, sent off. Now, Barnsley kicks out, the youngster reacts. I don't think it was much of a headbutt, but if we're sending players off for leaning in with the head, then John Moss had a decision to make. I think it was quite harsh, but he was given the red card. As for Barnsley, he should have been red carded for the kick out off the ball. I think he will be charged for that retrospectively. So a big weekend really for Man United going into the break, bearing in mind the headlines were all Jose Mourinho. Let's have a look how this all pans out in the standings for these players coming back and how the teams have started the season. No real surprise at the top, I think, with Liverpool. Signed some great players in the summer, very strong squad, got some great momentum. Surprised at Chelsea because Sarri's late arrival coming in there. I mentioned Watford, that is a great story so far, it won't keep up. City have already dropped some points, Tottenham had a chance to go unbeaten, and Bournemouth, good start, and the rest of them decent start. Man United down there, they've obviously lost a couple of games, but that was a big win for them today. As for the bottom, as we look down, there's a couple of disasters down there, I've got to tell you, and the worst one obviously is the team at the bottom. West Ham United with their new manager Pellegrini, that's a disastrous start. Rafa Benitez struggling at Newcastle where they haven't really spent any money, and I don't think any of the other, I expect Huddersfield to have a long hard season. I think they will be relegated. I expect Palace to do better. I think Fulham are a decent side, and I don't think Wolves will be relegated. So not too many surprises at the bottom apart from West Ham. So the league taking a little bit of shape with the runners and riders at the top. Expect United to get a bit of momentum. Expect Liverpool to keep going in the way they're going. And expect Man City not to drop too many points after this international break. It's going to be a tight one this year. It might go all the way down to the wire.